All right, Hudale here, Stripes and Coffee. Got my morning coffee. We're back to the 10 a.m. game, so I haven't moved to nothing a little more fancy like beer or bourbon, but doing the coffee thing, thus the Stripes and Coffee. Um, Coming off a pretty painful loss last week, week 5 against the Ravens Sunday night. Um, Ravens just basically went in two high shells almost all that game and dared us to throw the damn ball. And we have had a hell of a time getting that figured out this year. And I think we're making progress towards that. A lot of people don't really want to look at it that way. Joe Goodberry, you read some of his stuff. There's signs that we're moving in the right direction. It's just going too slow. Um, you saw in that game, we couldn't do anything, and then eventually we started kind of dinking and dunking and getting down there in the red zone. And we had that failed fourth down attempt on the goal line, which there was a lot of hate going, that they should have just took the points, which I could have saw. You had a chance to tie it up. Usually, if you can take the lead or tie it up, you take the points. But it's been rough to get down there, and that might have sealed the game if we get that 7. And the 4th and 1, you got to think a Joey B-led offense can get that 1 yard to get the point. So I have no problem if they went for that. I just don't know that I like the play calls. So rubber out, I don't have a problem with that. They snuffed it out and was able to kind of bat that away from Hayden Hurst. Then they do that Philly special, and then to make it even worse, Tyler Boyd, instead of throwing it out of the back of the end zone, just held onto it, and we essentially take a sack. Then I think that there was a pass to get us right back on the goal line, and then there we were. Then we do a shovel pass. A shovel pass, man. Maybe it wasn't executed well and could have been fine, but I don't know. I just think we should have put Joey B in a situation where he can scan the field and find somebody. The run game was actually working this time. I think Joe Mixon was going 5.5 a clip. Why not at least one of those 4 down attempts? Just try to pound it in. I know that, we've not had very good luck with that, but at least one, just give it a shot. It was better than the shit we pulled off. So, at any rate, we started kind of getting it together, got down there, scored the touchdown, but they had 2 minutes, so I don't think anybody in Bengals Nation thought that we were going to win that game when they had around 2 minutes. I don't know if they had the 2-minute warning or it was just under that, but at any rate, they had all their timeouts, Lamar Jackson and 4 downs to work with, and they'd been moving the ball, running the ball pretty well against us. We didn't stop that very well, although we clogged them up defensively in the red zone. And by the way, our defense hasn't given up, I don't think, a second half touchdown all year. Freaking outstanding by them. We're just not built to win in this situation when you got a team running the ball well and a lethal quarterback running the ball like Lamar Jackson. They got 4 downs to work with. They're easily going to pick up enough, and they just got to get to the goddamn logo because they got Justin Buttpucker that's going to kick that field goal and end up winning for them. So I think we knew that's how that was going to go down, and it did. 1 point loss, heartbreaking. So now our season is teetering on the edge of making the playoffs. We're right there, and we got to start right here against New Orleans. So the way I see it, in the next 6 games, we can afford at a bare minimum of 2 losses. So a loss today would really, really hamper that. So we got New Orleans, we got Atlanta, we got Carolina in there, Browns, Steelers, and Titans. I think is who all we got. So if we can't go like 4-2 against that, because then we got Kansas City, then we got the big dogs. We got Kansas City is that very next game after all those I just mentioned. We got the Bucks, we got the Bills, we got the Ravens again, and even the Patriots aren't. That's not like a give me game. So then we'll have the Browns again. So that's just going to be a rough stretch, and I really do think we'll look back at that first game against the Steelers that we should have won. We would be 3-2 right now, instead of 2-3. Wouldn't look nearly as bad, and that one loss might have set us back just enough. But we got a chance to right the ship, and it starts today. So Winston out, we got Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton, if given protection, can distribute the ball pretty well. So if we can get some pressure on him, that'll be what we need to do. I don't know if their defense is anything to write home about. I think Marshawn Lattimore was their top corner, and they got torched anyway by the Ravens offense with him in, but I think he's going to be out. So they're ripe for the taking. They're torchable. So we should, in theory, if we can get this shit together, be able to throw all over them. unless they go into that too high shell, and we just can't defeat that. They've not been great at defending the run, so maybe this is a mix-in, kind of get going game, getting 5.5 a clip, and kind of get their safeties coming downhill. So that could be a recipe for success there. On their side of the ball, there's offensively, there's a slew of injuries, so I don't know if they've got really anybody to throw the ball to. Mike Thomas is out. Chris Olave is out. So I think their offense is going to go through Alvin Kamara throwing and running the ball. So that scares me a little bit with no DJ Reader, because our run defense, although at times we've made stops when we've needed, they've not been real good against the run. So I think that, and get Andy in a groove and get some open throws and let him read a defense and don't get any pressure on him, and then they're going to have Tyson Hill doing some of that type of, Lamar Jackson shenanigans. So the one thing about that is we do pretty good at containing those type of quarterbacks. Like Jackson last week, he was able to run the ball a bit, but he never really escaped and made any big plays. So I think that we can do an okay job of containing that if we need to. So at any rate, it is getting very close to game time. I'm ready for a son of a bitchin' win. I'm sick of this shit. We are underperforming for what we need to do, and it's time to get this shit going. And it starts with this game right here. Let's take it to New Orleans. Let's get one of the next 6 games, started right here. And, let's run the table on that, to be honest, man. And then we are looking really good. But it all starts today. So Houdale out, Stripes Coffee out. Going to go watch a game.